Particular welcome to the Mayor of Thurrock, Councillor Charles Curtis, to the Leader of the Council, Councillor John Kent, to the Leader of the Opposition, Councillor Phil Anderson, to many other members of the Council and leaders of our community. I'd also like to welcome young people that are with us this morning from the Ockenden Academy, from Gable Hall, from the Grays Convent High School, from Quarry Hill Primary School, and I think there may be some people from Thameside Junior School and Stifford Primary School too as well. I've just been waved that they're here. So,
I can't say it's a pleasure to see you all here today, but it is undoubtedly a privilege to be here with you this morning commemorating the Holocaust Memorial Day. I'd like to thank you all for joining us in remembering all those who were killed in the Holocaust and in subsequent genocides. We're here to remember those millions who were lost during the Holocaust, as well as victims of other genocides from Cambodia to Rwanda and Darfur. Every year we meet here, it stiffens our resolve to ensure that such horror never happens again.
It's easy for us to think of the Holocaust as just another story from our collective history. And I don't think it's until you visit those concentration camps that the full horror of what happened here in Europe less than 70 years ago really begins to sink in. And what happened at that moment in our history was the systematic slaughter by the Nazi Germans of 2/3 of the 9 million Jews that were living in Europe in 1939. If all of us gathered here today had been Jews living in Europe in the 1940s, I very, very much doubt that any one of us would have survived. At the Auschwitz-Birkenau complex alone, over 1 million people were slaughtered in a 3-year period. At that rate of destruction, the entire population of Thurrock would have been wiped out in less than 6 months.
I have a message today which is about leadership. The Holocaust has taught us that it's not acceptable for us to become a bystander to intolerance and hatred. We must lead the way in creating a community where difference is respected and valued. On behalf of myself and the Chief Executive of the Council, I want to give a clear message about our commitment to equality and diversity. We must build a Thurrock where we can enjoy and celebrate the diversity of our people and where our young lead the way in building a cohesive, a prosperous and a welcoming community.
Diversity of races and cultures in your world. Enrich our lives by ever-widening circles of fellowship and understanding. Show us your presence in those most different from us, so that in all our relationships, both by what we have in common and by things in which we differ, we may come to know you more fully in your creation, for you are Father, Son and Holy Spirit, now and forever. Amen. Judge, eternal bringer of justice, hear the cry of those who suffer under the harsh of heartless political oppression, those who languish in prisons and labour camps, untried or falsely condemned, those whose bodies in the past and still this day are shattered, or those whose minds are unhinged or tortured or deprived. Meet them in their anguish and despair, and kindle in them the light of hope, that they may find rest in your love, healing in your compassion, and faith in your mercy. Amen.
Father in heaven, Lord of the universe, we offer our prayers to you today. And first we lift to you the nation of Israel and Jewish people across the world. God of mercy, hear our prayer.
Shalom
Utravokala Tavarike Shalom, Shamamala Tavarike Sim Shalom, Valedet Sim Shalom. Amen.
But if we believe that we are immune, that if we lack the capacity for dehumanizing hatred that was shown at Auschwitz, then we deceive ourselves and the truth is not in us. Human strength alone cannot remove this capacity for evil from our hearts. Only God can do that. But as a society, there are things that we can do to guard ourselves against ever going down that path again. The first thing we have to do is to be honest. As a politician, I speak to many people on the doorsteps, and some of them speak angrily about what they see as the effects of immigration on their communities. Diversity brings a richness, and it brings new opportunities, but it also brings tensions and pressures, and we have to be honest about that. Equality means acknowledging that people who are different from me, and people who I might not always agree with, or sometimes might not even like, have the same rights that I do. And we have to be honest that that can be difficult for some of us sometimes. The first step in dealing with people's prejudices is to be honest and to talk openly about them.
Will always hold universal meaning. We believe the Holocaust must have a prominent place in our nation's collective memory. We honour the survivors still with us. We reaffirm our shared goals of mutual understanding and justice. We must make sure that future generations understand the causes of the Holocaust and reflect upon its consequences. We vow to remember the victims of Nazi persecution and all genocide. We value the sacrifices of those who have risked their lives to protect or rescue victims as a touchstone of the human capacity for good in the face of evil. We recognise that humanity is still scarred by the belief that race, religion, disability or sexuality may make some people's lives worth less than others. Genocide, anti-Semitism, racism, xenophobia and discrimination still continue. We have a shared responsibility to fight these evils. We pledge to strengthen our efforts to promote education and research.
Thank you.